Hello, my dear student. Hope you are safe and good at your home. Today, I am going to describe about transpiration process. You know that transpiration is a necessary process for plant, and hope you will enjoy this class. After watching this class, if you have any question, please write down on comments box. I will try to give your answer as soon as possible. Well, my dear student, today I am going to describe about transpiration. Transpiration is a very much important biological process through plant can release their extra water and they can able to maintain their temperature. So this is a figure. By this plant can release their water. It is called stomata, or you can say that leaf stomata. There has two important cell. Guard is called guard cell. These are guard cell. So guard cell helps to open stomata and close also. So first of all, I am going to describe about what is transpiration. Life cannot be imagined without water. You know that plant mostly absorb water. They required through their roots. They use a very little part of the absorbed water for their metabolic activities. The remaining part of the water is released to the atmosphere in the form of vapor. The physiological process by which water is carried through plant and then released to the atmosphere in the form of vapor through aerial part is called transpiration. On the basis of aerial part through which this process occurs, transpiration is categorized into three divisions. You can say stomatal transpiration, cuticular transpiration, and lastly lenticular transpiration. Now I am going to describe about different kind of transpiration. First of all, stomatal transpiration. There are special types of opening with two guard cells in the leaves, young stems, sepals and the petals of flowers. These openings are called stomata. 95% of the total transpiration in a plant occurs through the stomata. Second one is cuticular transpiration. This is a layer of cuticle on the epidermal layer of plant. Especially on the upper and lower surface of every leaf, this layer is called the cuticle. Some water, when evaporated, is released through the cuticle. The process is called cuticular transpiration. And lenticular transpiration is occurred through the lenticell. After the occurrence of secondary growth in plant, the airy aggregation of cell that functions as a pore is called lenticell, developed on the rupture bark of some plants. The cells aggregated around a lenticell are loosely fitted and water from the inside can be released through it. This is called lenticular transpiration. Okay, so here this is a part of lenticell, and if we enlarge it, the figure may turn like that. Okay, this is a figure of lenticell. Okay, so through the transpiration, excess water is escaped through the evaporated. A succession force develop causing the root to absorb water. The process depends on many factors. There are roughly grouped in two: external factors and internal factors. First of all, I am going to describe about external factors. So first external factors is temperature. The rate of transpiration fluctuates with the change of temperature. Water can be vaporized at the high temperature, and thus transpiration is accelerated. The water holding capacity of air increases if the temperature goes up. As a result, transpiration proceeds faster. If the temperature goes down, the rate of transpiration declines. And second one is relative humidity, the ratio of amount of vapor in the air of the atmosphere and the amount of water vapor that the air can hold at a given temperature is its relative humidity. For instance, the air may be dry in spite of having high water vapor because the air may have a high water vapor holding capacity. Conversely, in spite of the presence of low amount of vapor in atmosphere, the atmosphere may be humid if there is low water vapor holding capacity in the air. When relative humidity is low, the air remains unsaturated and can retain more water vapor. If the relative humidity is high, the air loses its water vapor holding capacity. When the relative humidity is low, the rate of transpiration increases, and when high, the rate of transpiration declines. And number next, light and wind. So another two external factors. Light, in presence of light, stomata open, and so the rate of transpiration increase. In the dark, the process is ceased because the stomata are closed. Light also affects transpiration by increasing the temperature of plant. And last one is wind. Because of transpiration, the air around the plant becomes moist, and that causes the rate of transpiration to slow. When wind removes the saturated air, the rate of transpiration increase. With the wind, the leaves are swung, and a kind of pressure is exerted on the stomata, and so water vapor comes out through them at a high rate. This is why with the change of wind velocity, the rate of transpiration also changes. If the atmosphere pressure rises, evaporation declines and the rate of transpiration also decreases. Again, at low atmospheric pressure, evaporation increase, and so the rate of transpiration increase. So after next, now I'm going to describe about different kinds of internal factors like stomata, number of leaf, surface area of mesophyll. First of all, stomata. The rate of transpiration varies with the number of volume, structure and arrangement of stomata, and the rate of transpiration varies with the number, volume, structure and arrangement of leaves. And if the volumes of leaves is high, the rate of transpiration will also be high. The same way, if the volume of leaf is low, the rate of transpiration will be low. If the total volume with all the aerial, the atmosphere may be humid if there is low water vapor holding parts of a plant in increased, the rate of transpiration will be higher. The presence of cuticle, area of spongy parenchyma, etc. also change the rate of transpiration also. So if you want to make a activity at your home, you can do it, and by the activity you will able to understand the process of transpiration. So it is very much important for your practical part. Prove with an experiment that water is released as vapor from a plant through transpiration. Need a fresh potted plant, a glass bell jar or a cellophane bag, thread or clips and water. Procedure: first, the plant with the pot should be placed on the table. This is a very much important. And water should be poured into the pot. Now a branch of plant with some leaves covered with cellophane bag should be clipped or tied with the thread or covered with a bell jar. The precaution should be taken that vapor cannot come out or air cannot get in. The pot in this stage should be kept for an hour. Okay. Finally, after an hour, it will be found that there are water drops on the inner surface of the cellophane bag, and the whole bag would become damp. How has that happened? As there is no scope for water to get into the cellophane bag, it is clear that the water drops are escaping from the leaves. So we see that a plant release water in vapor from through its aerial part. So this is a important demonstration for practical also. So when you will do it, you should follow some precaution, like the plant on the pot should be fresh and living. The opening of the cellophane bag should be tightly tied so that no air can get in or come out from the cellophane bag. Okay, so now I'm say about the necessary evil. You know that transpiration is called necessary evil. It is a very important part for creative. Scientists have agreed on the significance of transpiration. The metabolic activities of a living plant cell are depends on the process. Because of transpiration, a succession force is developed in the xylem channel called the transpiration succession. With the succession force, a plant absorbs water and minerals salt through its roots, hairs, and the absorbed water and minerals salts are conducted to the leaves. If the force decreases, the absorption of water will decrease, and the metabolic activities along with the production of food will be slow. In the mesophyll of the leaf, a diffusion pressure deficit is developed because of transpiration and helps the absorption of water. A plant keeps the temperature in the cell of leaves within a certain range by continuously reducing the thermal energy absorbed by the mesophyll. On the contrary, through the transpiration contributes many of uses to a plant. It also plays some harmful roles. For instance, if the rate of loss of water is greater than the rate of its absorption, they will cause deficiency of water and minerals, and the plant as a result the plant may die. If water is deficient in the soil, absorption will be very little, through transpiration will continue as before. To deal with this, mature causes many plants to shed leaf in winter. Because of the lacking of transpiration, the required diffusion pressure deficit will not develop, and as a result the rate of osmosis will be slow. So it can be said that transpiration is essential activity for a plant, though it causes some harm to it. For the contrary character, the scientist Curtis designated the process transpiration as a necessary evil, but as a whole transpiration has continued in spite of having some negative effect, because it enables plants to survive. So that's all about today's class. Hope you will continue your study at your home, and after you study at your lesson on your lesson, if you get any problem, please write down on comment box. I will try to give your answer as soon as possible. Thank you so much.